Thank you. Oh, I apologise for my voice, and I am also a very good bookkeeper, so I do have notes, so I apologise for that as well. So I just wanted to start by telling you a little bit about my story. So I'd been working full-time for nearly 10 years. I loved my job. I met my husband there. Our plan was to have babies. Jason would stay at home and be the house husband, and I would come back to work. So not long after getting married, I got pregnant and I had a miscarriage. It didn't change our plans too much, but then a few months later, my sister-in-law lost a 5-week-old baby to cot death. So it turned my world upside down. So I didn't want to be the mum who kissed her baby goodbye in the morning, kissed them goodnight in the evening, and didn't have much interaction any other time. So I said to my boss, I need to work from home. Let's put things in place now so that by the time the baby comes, when I get pregnant again, I can be working from home. And he said, no, it won't work. I said, what do you mean it won't work? I'm the bookkeeper here, of course it will work. And he said, no, it won't work. So the next day, 6 months short of long service leave, without really discussing it with my husband, I resigned. And I was gone a week later. So I remember very clearly sitting in my office that first day thinking, what the hell am I going to do now? So it just seemed logical that I would start a bookkeeping business because that's what I knew and that's what I was good at. So everybody told me that it would take 3 years to establish my business. And then I had another, oh my gosh, moment. And, you know, I still had groceries to buy and a mortgage to pay. So I got a part-time job as a court reporter so that I could spend, you know, a few days there a week just making the grocery payment and still have a few days in the week to build my business. So within 8 months, my business was full-time. I resigned from being a court reporter and I was working in my business with an employee within a couple of months of that as well. So the business ticked along and I was doing lots and lots of work, both locally and flying around the state working as well. And it took 7 years of fertility treatments to get this baby. So I was pregnant and people would say to me, well, you know, you're really busy and you're doing a lot of travelling. What are you going to do when the baby comes? And me being me, I said, well, you know, it's going to be okay because I've scheduled his due date in my diary and everything else will work around that. And his due date isn't on payday, so it's all good. And luckily, he did come on his due date and he just about did fit into my diary, luckily. But, you know, as things do, things happen. So I had another baby after that who was a screamer and he did not fit into my diary. Then my father had a very bad accident in New Zealand. So within 6 months, I travelled backwards and forwards to New Zealand 15 times before he passed away. And then my husband had a massive heart attack. So all of these things didn't stop me, but it was through the systems that I had created in my business that carried my business through. So I'd created great systems in those 7, 8, 9 years. If I'd had a baby right at the beginning, I don't think I'd be standing here today. So systemization is really, really important. And things just always happen, whether it be a death or a baby or, you know, you just got too much to do. So today I'm going to talk to you about what happens when you lose the passion in your business, you become overwhelmed, and then how you can get out of that. So the excitement and the passion that I have for my business is the same feeling that many business owners have for their business when they first start out. And like most of us, myself included, the day-to-day of running your business can cause overwhelm. And when overwhelm sets in, you know, everything's just a burden. So soon enough you discover that your business has become a burden, you've forgotten about the passion that you had when you started, and you wonder why you're in business in the first place. So hands up anybody who has at some point in their business felt overwhelmed and that it was just too much. So every business owner is different and every business is different. It doesn't matter what your business does or who you are or how long you've been in business. Most business owners have the same needs and the same issues. We all have staff to pay, some of us. We all have bills to pay. We all have customers to service. So a lot of these things aren't the core business function of our business, but they are necessary and they do have to go on in the background. So many of the issues causing overwhelm don't actually earn you any money, but they are essential to running a successful business. And nobody gets it right at the beginning. But really, what is exactly right? I've been in business for 14 years and my business is still evolving. What it was after 3 years was different in 3 years after that, which was different again in 3 years, and in 3 years from now it will be different again. So it's a constantly evolving machine, but ultimately your passion will remain and your passion should see you through. So think of your business as a road trip. So when you first start out, you decide on your itinerary and you're full of excitement about the journey to come. So this is where your business passion is. Then you set out and you realise that things aren't always going to go to plan. And trying to fit too many things in means you get overwhelmed and you get tired and the adventure isn't really that enjoyable. So that's where your work-life balance overwhelm comes in. Then you realise that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and you want to make the most of your trip. And so you start to enjoy the ride. And this is where your business starts to create some momentum. Then you take some guided tours, and it is difficult to hand the reins over to the tour guide because you're used to doing everything yourself and you like things to be done your way. This is where the loss of control comes in. Then you meet some friends along the way and you think, wow, it'd be great to team up with them and do a few trips with them as well. But they don't have the same vision as you. So this is where you have expansion problems. And eventually you're on the home stretch and you get home and you enjoy reliving the happy memories that you had and sharing photos with friends. And this is a mature business that can run without much input from you. So why did you set out on the adventure of starting your own business? Was it to pursue a passion? Was it to be your own boss? To improve your financial prospects? Or just because it seemed like a good idea at the time? So take a moment now with the pen and the notepad to write down 1 or 2 reasons why you went into business in the first place. Would anybody like to share? I have chocolates. Well, you share first and then you get chocolate.
Well, a big reason for me, and it may be for other people too, is one of the last employers I had was a bully boss. So,
Yep.
yes,
So to take control. Rose?
I just come out of a very awful marriage and gone out on my own and done my own. That was mine to do what I wished.
Okay, so again, to take control of your future.
Thank you, my love. I love this one.
Yeah, about 8 or 9 years ago, I guess, there was an opportunity where I was working at Confidential Tax to a retiring partner, a director. I'd been there, I knew the business well, so it was an opportunity for me to buy into the business, and that obviously was going to pay okay. You know, it's going to be able to pay the bills okay. So that was the reason, I guess, for getting into business, and the passion was there to make it work. You know, to do your best and to be productive.
So it was something that you were passionate about,
Yeah.
but then there was the financial security as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, one more over here.
I don't have a business yet, but just talking to you today, you've inspired me.
Oh, thank you.
Because, like the other lady, I left my husband in the desert So,
That was mean.
yeah, no. 18 months ago, we ended it. So now it's my turn to live my life
Yep.
the way I want.
Yeah.
And talking to you today, I am going to do something that I'm passionate about that will be good for other people.
That's awesome. There you go. I'll be back with the
Still in the
chocolates
desert?
later.
Yeah, he's still in
So I started my business because I was focused on working from home. And there were lots of changes in my business. So I had staff, then I didn't have staff, then I had commercial premises, and then I didn't, then I franchised, and then I wasn't a franchisor. So it's changed quite a lot over the number of years. But the reason I started my business was because I wanted to work from home around family. And no matter where my business has been, that has always remained the same. So whatever your initial reasons are for going into business, everything else will follow. So follow your passion. And if you're no longer passionate about it, it's not a failure to do something else. It's not a failure to reinvent yourself. Just follow your passion. The money will come. Everything else will just fall into place. So consider your true focus. Is it prestige? Is it nice things? Is it flexibility? So review your list of why you went into business in the first place. And once you know which focus draws you, you'll know how you're going to make it happen. If your focus is the passion, the money will come. If your focus is the money, you will always be chasing the money. Because if you set yourself a financial goal, you're going to reach it. And then you've got to set yourself another one, and you'll reach that as well. But when is it enough? All right? And is that really, truly satisfying? Yes, of course, you need to be financial to get your lifestyle or whatever it is that you're chasing. But chase that, and the money will follow. It's all in your mindset. So I want you to step outside of your comfort zone. And I know that that is absolutely the last thing that you want to do. Because really, why would you voluntarily give yourself more pain? But you know what? You've already done that by starting your own business in the first place. You've taken your passion and you've taken that first step, or the second or the third, or wherever you're up to in your business. Many people dream of starting their own business and they never do. So you've already gone outside your comfort zone. So getting outside your comfort zone is a great boost to your self-confidence. And when the direction changes, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of your journey. It just means a new destination. So you can refocus. You don't need to stay tunnel visioned. So consider your own business. Could you do things differently? They're not too strenuous at the moment and they're giving you a good result. But could they be better? Move your vision. If your tunnel vision is here, move it slightly and it opens up a whole new world of opportunities for you that you never knew existed. So how can you move your tunnel vision? You might be part of a team, but you might all think the same way. Therefore, you're still all going in the same direction. So I would suggest engaging with a mentor. Does anybody have a mentor or has had a mentor? Now, mentors are other business people who have seen the same experiences as you, and they can help guide your business in the direction that you want it to go. And it doesn't matter if you've been in business for 2 years, 5 years, 15 years, there will be a process that you will want to be doing at the moment, and a mentor can help you with that. And it's great for accountability. I had a mentor a couple of years ago now, and I had all of these things that I wanted to do. And you know, they just stay things that I want to do because I've got other stuff that I have to do. So having a mentor meant that I saw him every 2 weeks, and when I saw him, he would give me jobs to do. So I had to make sure that I had my homework done by the end of that fortnight. So it made me accountable. Without the mentor, those things would still get pushed around my desk and I wouldn't get it done. The next thing you can do is create an organisational and responsibility chart. All right. Now, this may seem silly if there's only one of you in the business, but that's absolutely fine. So what an organisational and responsibility chart is you work out all of the areas in your business. So you've got accounts, admin, sales, customer service, you might have logistics, everything, all right? And then from there, you put down all of the names of the people in your business that are responsible for those areas. It may be that your name goes next to all of them, which is fine. So there's many reasons why you would have an organisational and responsibility chart. These include structuring your business in line with your goals, assisting staff to understand the structure of their workplace. There's nothing worse than being in a workplace and not really knowing where you fit in. Showing the relationships between employees and departments, assessing whether employees are overloaded or if they can handle more work, and highlighting areas of your business that could do with a little bit more attention. Then look at areas of your organisational and responsibility chart and consider which ones can be delegated. So look at the tasks that you don't particularly like, and then look at the ones that you really like and the ones that light your fire. The ones that are bogging you down, or the ones that you really don't have high level of skill to do. These are the ones that are getting in the way of your greatness. The big question is, how can you work things so that your chart has your name next to the things you want to do and somebody else's name next to the other things that you don't want to do? You do that by giving your business a reality check. So is your business running you, or are you running your business? Did you go into business with a great vision and now you're bogged down doing all of the stuff that you don't really want to do? If this resonates with you, take a hard look at where your business is at and do a reality check. So you want to ask yourself some questions such as, is it important for me to work from home around children? Do I want to remain a sole operator or have people working for me? Would I like to have a large business with the location in every city in the country? Or would I like to franchise? So think about where you really want your business to go, and nothing is out of reach. So by giving your business a reality check, you'll get a really good idea of where your business is now and then where you want it to be, both in the short term and in the long term, and what the road looks like between here and there in order to get there. If you'd like a copy of my business reality check, if you've purchased my book, you can download it free. Or if you haven't purchased my book, come and buy it. Or give me your email and I'll just email it to you. So the operational and responsibility chart, along with your reality check, will help you decide how you're going to manage your business moving forward. So perhaps you've found some tasks that are crucial to your business and realise that you need to be taking care of them yourself. But there might be other areas of your business that bore you to tears, or that you are unskilled at, or that you really don't like. So these are the ones that you should start to delegate. And there's a few ways that you can delegate. So you can hire staff, casual, part-time, full-time. You can engage in contractors throughout Australia, or you can offshore, which is contractors from overseas. And it really depends on the business model that you have and what it is that you're outsourcing. So write down the areas of your business that you think that you could outsource or delegate. So some typical areas might be your administration, and a VA can help you with that, or social media marketing or website marketing. That's way outside my area of expertise. Bookkeeping, and even your operations. So how you outsource your business will depend on your business, and you may decide that all of those options might be suitable. So some areas are outsourced to different types of outsourcers. So take all of that into consideration and work out the model that works best for you. So some key points. Think about why you went into business in the first place and focus on your passion. Step outside your comfort zone because that's where the really good stuff happens. Being in business can be really isolating, even if you have a team. So surround yourself with other business people and you can bounce ideas off them and refocus and see things a little bit outside the square. And a mentor is a valuable asset to your business journey and keeping you in the direction that you should be going in. When you're feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to remember why you are on this journey and refocus. And then take a step back from your business. Decide what tasks you want to do and delegate the rest. And there's an action plan. So find a group of like-minded people who you can network with, or you can have a coffee with once a week or once a month, just to get out of the office or get out of the studio or get out of the workshop, bounce ideas off, go back to the office or the business feeling refreshed. Engage in a mentor, which is a bit more of a formal arrangement. Do a reality check and an organisational responsibility chart in your business. So when you're in business, it can be hard to see a different perspective because we become so tunnel visioned in the things that we know, that's all our focus is. And it causes roadblocks. But that path doesn't have to be the only path. You can veer off and other people can come onto your journey and take you in a new direction, and you will be opening up a whole new opportunity of things that you hadn't thought were possible. If you're like me, you've often gone to seminars and conferences or read books and magazines and come away really pumped afterwards about all of the really cool things you're going to action and put into place in your business. And then what happens? You go home, you've got emails to answer, phone calls to return, children to deal with, washing to deal with, husband rings and says he's going to be late, you've got to get the dinner done. And all of those ideas go into your in tray. And you think about them often, but that's all that happens. You just think about them. But that's real life. But unfortunately, it doesn't get us moving towards our goals. So to make a difference, you need to actually do something. So for me, I have to put it in my diary, because if it's in my diary, it will get done. If it's on a piece of notepad, I will just push it around my desk forever. But once it's in my diary, it gets done. So work out the way for you that it's going to get done. And do it. So if you implement just one thing from either my talk today or one of the other talks that you've been to, it will make this day worthwhile. Now, I've got copies of my book here today, which talks about business overwhelm and putting systems in place. If you'd like to have a chat to me, please come and see me. I'm here today and tomorrow. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the expo.